Welcome to another episode of On the Capo Stand podcast. I am your host, David, and alongside yours truly, as in every week, these two gentlemen join me. And we have Ahmed. How you doing, Ahmed?
Hey David, how are you?
Doing fantastic, my friend. And the big man from Cincinnati, John. How you doing, John?
Good, David. How are you? How are you
Awesome,
feeling
brother.
after Monday night?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Recuperating. I was on the wall with these three gentlemen. If you follow our social media, you saw that we managed to do the impossible. Pack sexiness, raw animal magnetism in purple in one spot. We managed to do that. So congratulations, gentlemen. We managed to, drive the ladies crazy for a minute. So, with that said, we have a lot to talk about tonight in Altamont Springs at Kiwi's Pub. There was an event with our manager, Oscar Pareja, and one of the people one of the fans that went to the event is going to be calling in, and we're going to get more info from him. I'm very curious to see what happened. I would have loved to go, but I work in by the airport to make it from Orange County to Seminole County during rush hour would have been insane, and then I would have had probably an hour to get back home to record the show. We're on a warpath, as you can see if you're seeing us on video here, dressed on in camo. Sort of, this is desert camo. What I have, I actually went to Walmart to get a camo shirt, and I couldn't find one. So unfortunately for me. But anyhow, guys, I just want to tell everybody that right now we are live on YouTube at Davis Channel 76, where you can also find us at on the Capo Stand on Instagram, Facebook. We're live on the Capo Stand. We are on TikTok on the Capo Stand. We're on Threads at on the Capo Stand, and live on Twitch at on the Capo Stand, and live on X at on the Capo Stand. You can also listen to us on audio wherever you consume your podcast. So to the people that are gonna watch us it recorded on video later on, thank you very much. And for those that are going to be listening to us on audio, thank you very much. To the people that are watching us live, you're nothing but appreciated from you receive nothing but appreciation from us. Thank you very much for meeting us at 9 p.m. on Mondays every week. You're welcome to interact with us via messages. You can comment live. You can be on the show. You can be on the show. Just DM us on one of the applications, preferably X or Instagram. Those are the ones that we monitor the most. And just tell us you want to be on the show. We'll send you the link, and then you can be with us and talk about anything that your heart desires. With that said, let's start with impressions about Monday. It was weird to be at the stadium on a Monday and then having to go to work. Some of you went way too hard. I was hurting Tuesday morning. I can't imagine some of the people. So let's start with Ahmed, since on my screen he's at the top. Ahmed, and then John.
All right. So honestly, first got to the stadium, I was a little worried. I thought the turnout was not going to be good. It looked a little dead early on, but I'm glad to see that the stadium filled in. I don't know what the total attendance was. Does anybody know if it was?
It was about 19K.
Okay,
19.
not bad.
Wow,
Not bad
I
for
thought
Monday.
more.
Okay, so that was close. As far as the game goes, we won. I'm happy we won. That's what matters at the end of the day, right? I
That's
just
it.
I hope we continue that momentum. I think we did an amazing job. I know we're gonna talk about the one goal because everybody was talking about that one goal. Um, we had some opportunities that were missed. I think we can't miss those kinds of opportunities if we move on into this tournament because the fights are gonna get more intense. So I feel like we need to tighten some things up. I feel like we had some missed opportunities during that match. But other than that, I couldn't ask for more. I mean, I'm the one who always said they need to lay it all out there, and I feel like they did. It might have taken a little while for them to get that momentum started, so I'm a little worried going away to Nashville with that in mind. But we have a third game potentially if that doesn't work out our way. But I don't want that because I want the guys to win on Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? And then I
Yes,
want
it
them
is.
to have a week off or two or whatever it is, right? So we're going for the win. We're going for the win so that we have that little time off. I don't want to go to game 3 just because we don't have to. We can do it in 2.
Beautiful, John.
Yeah, I mean, we outshot Nashville 25-7, according to Foot Mob. And for all the trash their fans talked all week last week, really the
Don't
whole
do them
week,
like that, John.
for
Don't
2
do it.
weeks. For their fans, one, not to have any away fans in the away supporters section on the opposite side of the stadium.
That was surprising, honestly.
Yeah, it was.
And then for their team to show up and put the performance they put on. I mean, if you look at it, if we were just a little bit more clinical in front of net, we have a 1-0 lead, 10, 15 minutes into the match, even before they get their first shot off. And then just a little bit more clinical than that, we win maybe 5-1, 5-0, 25 shots. And most of them, a lot of them were point blank rate, right inside the box, 10 to 12 yards. So, I think they played well, a little bit more clinical, maybe a little bit of an off night, maybe having, 8 days off kind of affected it a little bit, which kind of worries me going into next Tuesday, how they're going to respond. But we all know Nashville's going to come out guns a-blazing and, try to bring it to us next Tuesday.
Gotcha, brother. We got a comment here. If you don't mind reading this, John, before I give you my impressions.
Yeah. Thomas Dupree says no away fans was crazy.
Well, yeah. Well, it really was. I gotta tell you this: Nashville talk big game. The trolls and their fans on social media talk big game. Nashville and Orlando are very similar in size, and in the amount of sports that they have in town, et cetera, et cetera. I knew that it was a total proposition for people to, right before the holidays, on top of that, to ask for 2 days off, because you're gonna need the Monday to travel, and then you're gonna need the Tuesday to get back, right? It was told to ask for people to ask for days off to come to Orlando to a game. I mean, it's and one of the things that I think it was not considered as problematic having this, 2 best out of 3, is that the first game really doesn't matter. It's not do or die. You lose it, you still have 2 other chances to win. So to a lot of people, it wasn't a priority, and this is not exclusive of Orlando. This was throughout the league. It wasn't a priority to be there for that first game. And on top of that, because I mean, there's no aggregate, there's no away goals. So if you beat this team by 50 goals to nil, it doesn't matter. It's still a win. You know what I'm saying? 1-0, 50-0, it doesn't matter. So to me, that was the counterproductive situation about the way the tournament is set. But we won, just like these 2 gentlemen said. We won. I say it all the time. This game is not played on paper, but on grass. And Gary Smith proved again why he is not the tactician he believes in his head that he is. Because he came to take this game to PKs. These 2 guys are witnesses of my tactical genius when I said to them, this smells like a 1-0 game. And then we had a golazo. I can describe it. I think I haven't felt this way about a goal. Cartagena's goal reminded me of it was Mendes, right? Yeah. Sebas Mendes.
Yeah.
Who single-handedly pushed us into the postseason with that bomb.
Yep.
What we witnessed this past Monday was a laser-guided missile. And I mean, if you do us a favors, let's show the fans what we're talking about. Unless you've been living under a rock, here is Wilder Cartagena's golazo. Understand me when I say that.
That's it. I'm gonna replay that again.
Oh yeah, right. Because it did not go on this thing. Yeah, for some reason, brother, it's not.
Oh,
Let's
it
see.
played.
Okay.
It played. I see it playing.
All right, yeah, I see it now.
Yeah. Did you hear the audio?
Play it one more time, Ahmed. Play it one
All
more
right,
time.
you got it.
And just like that gentleman, what a go! That's what I said. And that's when people started going wild with this nifty. For those in audio, I'm showing the towel that was given to the fans coming in, hunting season, baby, and going wild. It was crazy, man. It was crazy. The place went buck wild.
Yeah.
Probably the homeless people that sleep on Central woke up. They had to. They had to. And but no, it was a great goal. Quite honestly, and I want to get your impressions about the whole game now that we have spoken about that. Um, I think that they came with that idea of survive to fight another day, completely blew on their face, and in the end, the fact of the matter is that we won, and Tuesday we need to go to Nashville and close the deal. No excuses. Demand excellence from your manager and your players. Ahmed, the final impressions about the game, and then we can go to because we have a ton of stuff to talk about.
Yeah. No, I mean, like I said before, amazing game, amazing effort. We came out like I wanted us to. Like I said before, we needed to come out, no holds barred, a win, not going to penalties, and I hope we go into it with that same mindset on Tuesday. We can't. We have a lot to prove, I feel like, as a team to ourselves and to other people, that every game we have needs to be a win, a straight up win. I don't want to hear about penalties, extra time. We need wins, straight up. So, but great effort overall. John?
Yeah,
Yeah.
John, I'm sorry, I'm
No, you're
working
good.
on our guest.
It seemed like that, Nashville was expecting us to come out like we did back on October 4th, which, if you guys remember that game, it was very passive.
Yes.
We mainly just tried to keep possession of the ball right around midfield, didn't really push forward at all. And this game, especially as the second half or first half wore on, I'm sorry, until Cartagena's golazo, there's no other way to put it. We pushed forward Saturday. We were attacking. Of course, Nashville had their chances. They're a decent team. They have Hani Mukhtar, who almost scored an even more incredible golazo than Cartagena right after that. But of course, we have Gillespie in goal, and he got a fingertip on it, and just barely deflected that high. I mean, that thing, I don't know if you guys watched the replay of it, but that thing was knuckling hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow Gillespie got a fingertip on it just to nip it just high off the crossbar. So, I think I'm worried if we come out and kind of park the bus a little bit next Tuesday. And, I like, you guys know, everybody watching and listening knows that I like a more attacking style of the game. And, it was a fun match. Wish we would have scored more, but like Ahmed and David said, we won, and at this point in the season and the playoffs, it's survive and advance, and we got one more match coming up on Tuesday. Win that one, we're on to the conference semifinals.
Yeah, for sure. And my apologies if I look distracted. I just sent our guest the wrong link, so my apologies. But he should be here in a minute to talk about the event with Oscar Pareja. No, absolutely, guys. I think we had to do what we had to do. And on news around the league, the fact of the matter is that the trolls for Nashville talk a lot of crap, and talk about attendance, which I'm sorry if you're that big of a club, you should have packed the away end. You did not. I think if I saw 5 people with Nashville jerseys was a lot. Also, um, you know, you said that you were gonna destroy us. Hani Mokhtar, we sent out the dogs. We put them on milk cartons. We went on TV. We set out the Amber Alert. Nobody knows where he was at Monday night. Maybe perhaps he missed the flight to Orlando. Completely neutralized. My
I know where he
opinion.
was, David.
Where was he? Where was he?
He was in Schlegel's pocket all
Oh,
night.
Oh,
John, come on, bro. Don't that man has a family, brother. That's mean. But as you guys know, we don't do that here. Anyways, I'm gonna let our good friend Edward here on the show to talk about the event at Kiwi's Pub tonight with Oscar Pareja. So, Edward, let me let you in. Welcome, my friend. You're on the Capo stand.
Hey guys, good evening. Long
Hello.
time listener, first time caller, as they say. Glad to join you.
welcome, Edward.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah, just a second. Hold on. Technical difficulties, guys.
Uh-oh.
All right, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear us? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
rather?
brother. Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you, my friend, for joining us. As you can see, we're all wearing, well, at least the guys. I'm stupid attempt here to try to wear camo because we're on a war
I
path.
can't even see you. That camouflage is that good.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. So it worked. It worked. All right, my friend. Just a little background. I've known Edward for years. We both, I run into him every time there's signing events because Edward and I have the passion of collecting memorabilia for the Orlando City. As you can see in the background, for those that are watching, he has Sikaka, Pedro Galese, and so both of us, rather than invest our money in solid financial decisions like stock, bonds, options like that, we do it on pieces of fabric, balls, pictures, and posters. So there you go, guys. Learn something new. All right, Edward, enough jokes, brother. So tonight, there was the event at Kiwi's Pub in Altamont Springs in Seminole County. How did it go?
Yeah, so it was a pretty good turnout. I feel like for the dates and time, of course, being midweek, just after work, I'd say about 40, 50 people showed up. The team was out there. They had little tchotchkes for everybody. They had posters, the bottle openers, things of that nature. Poppy was there at 6:30. Took some questions from Gabi. Took some questions from the fans. It was very interesting to hear some of his perspective on things. In particular, the last game, he talked quite a bit about just giving everyone, there, just saying, hey, the players hear you, they feed off of that, just everyone having those rally towels, that was probably like the first time, we actually use them for what they're intended for instead of, just wiping our sweat off or whatever. So they're just feeding off of that. And, it was just a great boost for the team, just hearing that. So,
No, that's awesome, brother. I always say I will allow the guys to ask you questions, but I will open the floor by asking, the great controversy around Oscar Pareja's figure has been the people that, and I'm open about this, that, I felt that his time in Orlando had run its course. Obviously, when I make these statements, we're back in April. I know some people like to look at our performance now in November and point out that I was an idiot by saying that back then. But unlike these people, I can read minds. I can look into the future. But anyhow, Oscar Pareja deserves to be where he's at. In my opinion, if he takes us all the way, he deserves a contract, not an extension. The people ask those type of questions about his future with the club and how he felt when these two factions were at war on social media.
Definitely the contract extension topic came up. Being that he's currently in the playoffs with the team, he doesn't want that to be in the limelight. So he said basically that, hey, I'm focusing on getting the guys through the playoffs. We want to take, Nashville to 2 games. We don't want to play a third game. So he kind of didn't give us too much in that regard, for that. So I'm sure, behind the scenes, there's stuff going on, but in front of the public, he just kept that professionalism about himself.
Okay, great. Ahmed, if you have any questions for Edward.
No. Actually, I think Vixen, we had a comment come in,
Oh,
and I think
sure.
Vixen
Okay.
had a question for Edward.
Go,
He said,
go
Edward,
ahead and read it.
yeah, he said, Edward, at Kiwi's Pub, did they allow individuals that were physically there to ask questions, or did they only answer questions that were sent in through the web?
They allowed both. So at first they read questions that were, I guess you could say, pre-screened online, and afterwards they gave it an open mic, so to speak, and allowed open questions.
Nice.
Okay, fantastic. And John, go ahead.
Yeah, did anybody really ask him about like what led to him changing to the double pivot with Cartagena, or the couple adjustments that he's made through the season, stuff like that?
A lot of the adjustments he talked about was Dagger Dan moving back. He mentioned that was probably like the biggest surprise for him. Just his performance, throughout the season, just moving back in the fence. And, he did mention that as far as like tactics go, that was like big for him and the club as
Oh,
well,
that's
of course.
no, that's fantastic. Now, what was the atmosphere? Did he look relaxed? Did he look comfortable around everybody, or was it like, "Oh man, I'm here because the club asked me to be here. I can't wait to get home," sort of
He
thing?
looked very relaxed, very confident.
Nice.
Came in, shook everyone's hand on the way to the two chairs, I guess you could say. There really wasn't a podium. It was just two chairs there. And then afterwards, stayed, took pictures, signed autograph, kissed babies, all that good stuff you would expect.
For sure. And this is what I have told people. When you meet, and you have met him obviously now. When you meet Oscar Pereja in person, he's the uncle the Colombian uncle you did not know you needed. And I have said it before many times. Of course, I have fallen on deaf ears that our criticism of Oscar Pereja, the manager, is not criticism on Oscar Pereja, the person, who I think is a fantastic human being. He's very nice, very respectful. He makes you feel like you're important. I would have loved to be there. Obviously, I have said it before. I'm not a hypocrite or a backpedaler. I would have faced him, and I would have let him know that what I felt. That I probably would have made a good exchange, but unfortunately, like I said before, if I haven't said it on the show, I said it before with the guys when we were talking. Making it from the airport area in Orlando to Altamont during rush hour traffic, it would have been an impossible mission. And then to get back to my house within an hour to do the show, it would have been impossible as well. Edward, did you get anything signed from the manager?
Not this time around. I got his autograph about 20 times. I'm going to give these guys, writer's block or, something. I gave him the night off.
No, fantastic. I would like, since we have you on, man, and you and I shared that same obsession about getting paraphernalia, and I'm threefold because I also collect signed memorabilia from Maccabi Haifa in Israel, the club that I follow in Israel, and Steven Edge, the club that I follow in England. And I'm saying that for the benefit of those that have never watched or listened to our show. So for the regulars, go ahead and take your shot. Since I mentioned my overseas clubs and those playing bingo, now you go. So with that said, what do you have in what would you say is your rarest item?
Man, rare is hard to find. I mean, the Kaká back here is a game jersey he wore in 2017 against DC United. I got the game ball, the first game ball of I think about 9 that they used for the USA versus Panama game at Exploria.
Wow.
Got Nani captain's armband. Got Torres's jersey from this year from the Parley game. So I don't want to brag or anything, but those are my possessions right there.
You can't be humble when you're the best, my friend. I thought I had some good stuff. I think personally, for me, I have a bunch of stuff signed, but the one thing that I really, really treasure is a game worn USL number 9 Dom Dwyer signed jersey. I had to move heaven on earth to get that, and also I have the 2013 and 2014 season ticket package. It's like a sheet where you just basically take your ticket, you tear apart,
Right.
and you go, and it has a picture of it. Each game day has the picture of
I
a
got
player.
one back here. If I move out the way, you can see.
Oh, which one? What year is that?
That is 2014.
2014. Yeah, I have 2013
Yeah.
and 2014. I believe my 2013 is signed, my 2014 isn't. So yeah. So I mean, just like you, brother, I'm always out there. The holy grail for those that are interested in memorabilia is the pink jerseys, which I saw a guy wearing one to a game, and I wanted just to take it off his back. Right? I offer him cash right there because they're super rare. Those and the red ones, and I gotta tell you, look, guys, listen to your spouses, listen to your wives when they tell you things. In 2014, they had a sale of USL memorabilia. The guy was like, everything must go $5, pick whatever you want. And my wife was like, maybe you should get some stuff. And I know I want the new logo. And guess what? Those things now might as well super hard to find. And I would like to give a shout out to my boy in Bolton, England, Tom Lord, who was here for the Miami game and the Columbus game this season, and he owns a red USL jersey that he paid
Wow.
£10 for in a Goodwill in England. How that jersey managed to get there, we don't know. I told him, I said, bro, you can get $2,000, £2,000 for that right now. Keep it. You're gonna put your kids through college with that. So, guys, anything else for Edward before we say goodbye to him and we move on to the next topic?
No, man, I'm impressed by all the memorabilia you guys have. I'm just getting started, so.
Hey,
know.
you gotta start somewhere, and I tell
Yeah.
you, it's an addiction.
Well, it's funny
going
because
to those
we were.
autograph sessions that they've had at Publix.
Yeah.
Great that they brought those back again.
Well,
and-
that's
Yep.
that's exactly what I did because they had those sessions, so I found somebody who got me a Duncan jersey. He has an outlet store on 535 over by Lake Buena Vista. Awesome guy. Go check him out. He did stuff for me that nobody else would do. But end of story,
Awesome.
I got a jersey with Duncan signed, and
Beautiful.
that's the start of not mine, my son's journey. So I'm hoping one day that'll amount to something. So
No, for sure, for sure. I have to tell you this, man. It's never too late. It's never too late. And I would have to give a shout out to the club that is allowing signed memorabilia to be sold.
absolutely.
But with that said, it would be nice if we had opportunities where the fans could meet the players and get stuff signed. It would be nice if we had at the end of the year books or posters.
Yeah.
Mark Thor, the team photographer, and not because he knows me, because he's a nice dude, but the fact is that he takes some incredible images that deserve to be as posters and deserve to be collected as a book at the end of the season. I think fans would love to do that. The Orlando Sentinel, that's the local newspaper, had one for the 2015 season, which you can buy, by the way, for $32 online. I highly recommend it. It's a piece of history from our club. And with that said, the fact of the matter, my friends, is if you get into collecting, it's awesome. And now, Edward, we're gonna say goodbye to you, but you brought something that I really want to hear about. Since myself, Ahmed, and you didn't. How did you felt about the Paulus appearances? I thought that stroke of genius from the club.
It was great,
Yeah.
just having these out there. What you want to see is, Ahmed, like your son getting to these, and you want to see, like, okay, the parents taking their kids, because that's where the future is.
Absolutely.
I remember myself as a little kid going to the old Magic Fanatic and seeing the Magic players, the Solar Bear players back in the day. That's how, as a kid, you get hooked and you bring your parents in and whatnot.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
that's, what you're looking for is, okay, how do we get a deeper connection with our fans and also build upon the potential fan base that you currently have that's untapped.
Absolutely.
No, I agree with you 1,000%, my friend.
Yeah.
All right, Edward, thank you for coming, giving us that perspective. I appreciate it, brother. I reached out to you very last minute. and you were more than gracious. And as always, this club has introduced me to some fantastic people, present company included. And every time I run into Edward, what most people will say hello, goodbye, it turns into 30-minute discussion about our new finds and how the club is doing. So thank you, Edward. I appreciate it. What can we find you on social media, my friend?
Oh gosh, just on X/Twitter at ORL Soccer 10.
Fantastic. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. And hopefully we'll run into each other at
Hey,
the next home game.
we'll
Yes.
see each other, and we'll see each other after a win, I'm sure.
For sure. Thank you, my friend.
Well,
Appreciate
good
it.
night, guys.
And we have a question here. John, if you don't mind reading this one.
Yeah, definitely. Serge Nash, SOS, need help to get the game worn Schlegel's goalkeeper jersey from the New York penalty save.
Yeah, I have to tell you, the jersey that he wore that day, um, Schlegel has it. He owns it. He's not letting go of that. I did not ask him personally, but I know a friend, fellow podcaster, that asked him what happened to that jersey. He says he has the jersey and the gloves at home, frame, and that I mean, to the point he has the hand or the arm that stopped the penalty with the date tattoo and Roman numerals on his arm. And it's, again, he said that the sentimental value increases because his father, who unfortunately passed due to
Yep.
COVID, got to see that game. And this, they were back in Argentina. This is before the flexibility that Apple Plus gives them. So I don't see that hitting the market anytime soon. Anybody that has met Rodrigo, super humble kid, love his father, really love his father, and now that he has become a father himself, that void is missing. And what hits home is that his dad wasn't much older than me, and having the situation with my surgery where I had to face my own mortality at that point, and thinking of a world where I was missing, my wife will have to carry on with my kids by herself. I know where he's coming from, and if you have the opportunity to talk to him, incredible guy. We're very, 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 very lucky to have an individual like that here. Ahmed, if you don't mind reading this comment.
Yeah, absolutely. Washington Red Wolves. Hey, David, what happened to your Twitter X handle?
Oh yes, great question. Thank you for asking. The powers to be on X banned me for harassment, and if you guys remember, I had posted that video of me laughing when Miami lost the Open Cup, and you may ask yourself, well, there's nothing wrong with that. The problem is that people in our fan base, people in the Miami fan base, decided to flag my tweet as harassment, as spam, and that you can't do that on Twitter. That rule is meant to prevent accounts from sending multiple tweets and spamming people. I asked you. I asked the following question. While I have my account, I was bombarded with pornography. I was bombarded with spam of all kinds from accounts that have been there for years, and that's not a problem. But I am an issue. So they took me down, and I give up because in order to open an account, you have to have a phone number, you have to have an email. I use every phone number in my family, and to be honest with you, I think that Twitter is a platform that is dying, that is in decline. I actually, I'm gonna throw it out there. If you are on Blue Sky and you want to send me a link, invite me in. I will appreciate it. If we get on Blue Sky, I will just open an account for the podcast. I think personally, um, done with the legendary David and all that crap. I to be honest with you, on a personal level, I like to talk about the team. I love our club, but there's a group of people that log onto the show to see if I say something bad. Our this video right now is being flagged. They thumb us down on YouTube. There's a lot of things that happen behind that we don't express all the time. People that is it jealousy? I don't know what it is, but the platform here is to talk about Orlando City and the club that we love. But unfortunately, that's what happened. So Washington Red Wolves are hopefully long-winded answer, but that's what it is. It wasn't my intention to take it down. Before I did took it down, I was getting a lot of harassment, death threats, and things. And to be honest with you, the last 2 years, Twitter has not been kind to me. And not so much for me, for my family. People say nasty things over football opinions. Think about that. These people are adults that sit next to you on the stadium, say nothing, but on social media, they are animals. John, if you don't mind reading this one.
Yeah, I'll read that one, and we actually got one
Oh, Dicha. Oh,
before
sorry.
that from Thomas. Yeah, but Serge Nash. Wow, I will wait.
Okay.
Yeah, that was about the jersey, I think. Hey,
About the
Serge.
jersey.
Oh,
just,
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
yeah, that
Yeah,
was
well,
about the jersey. But you know what? If he's, I mean, if you're not set on a game worn jersey, if you just want that jersey, I think you may be able to find them out there. I know you want the game worn one, but if I were Schlegel, I wouldn't be giving that up anytime soon. So
Yep.
you can
no,
probably
for
find it.
sure.
Yeah.
And then we got
For
this
sure.
one from
Yeah,
Thomas.
let me. Well, you got. Yeah, there you go. Go ahead and put it on, brother. 'Cause
Not to jinx this round, but who would you guys prefer in round 2?
go ahead. Go ahead with that, Amen.
I don't know. I was talking about this with my son the other day. I don't know that if I'd want Columbus or if I'd want Atlanta. Right now, I'm looking at the score. Columbus is up 2-0 first game in the 80th minute.
Woo!
So the odds right now are Columbus.
I gotta be honest with you. This is gonna sound controversial, and I'm sorry, John, because I cut you off. But if I don't say it, I'm gonna explode, my friends. I think Columbus is our rival. The situation with Atlanta was manufactured, was man made. Let's be honest. They had our number for many years. But with us and Columbus since 2015, since the USL, we have gone at it, and I think it's a beautiful. They had knocked our teeth. We have done the same to them. I think I want Columbus. That's, to be honest with you, it's gonna be an explosive game. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, really, if I know this is going to sound like coach or player talk, I'm just worried about the team getting past Nashville first, since Nashville's
Yeah, for
been
sure.
such a thorn in our side. But past that, honestly, I think except Nashville and Cincinnati are the only two teams in this tournament that scares me. Atlanta we should have beat twice. Columbus we played the first match down 2-0 with a rotated lineup, came back to tie that one, and then the later match, we were down 2 goals at one point. I think was it 2-0 or 3-1 or something like that. Maybe it wasn't. I don't remember.
Yeah, and then we came back.
Either way, came back to win it late. You know, it's which one do you prefer? The one we came back on, or the one that we should have had 6 points from this year, and
Mm,
kind of the team that's owned us for their short history.
no, I agree.
So to me, it doesn't matter. To me, I'm worried about us beating Nashville on Tuesday, getting everybody healthy to play Columbus or Atlanta, and then beat them, and then move on to probably playing our
For
only
sure.
away match against Cincinnati.
If you guys don't have any plans, this Tuesday, November 7th at 8 p.m., there's going to be a watch party at Wall Street. For those that don't know, this is an entertainment district in downtown off of Orange Avenue, and you guessed it, Wall Street. And I went to the playoff watch party last year against Montreal. Great time. Unfortunately, the result did not wasn't in our favor. I was thinking about going, but to be honest with you, I'm trying to preserve my marriage. And if I continue to tell my wife that after work I have to run all over God's creation for some young man to sign a poster, or I have to tell them that I have to run to the stadium to get a yard sign, or if I have to tell her that this, that, and the other, then there's gonna be problems. So, yeah, I'm probably just gonna stay home and watch it. But if you don't have any plans or you want to experience a watch party, a lot of fun. Trust me.
David, you just recapped my whole weekend.
Yes, thank you. Which, by the way, go ahead and talk about that because I think it deserves to be mentioned about what your weekend was like. It was a lot of football, that's for sure.
Yeah, man, absolutely. It's
Hey,
it was nonstop. I mean, we had player appearances. What on Friday? We had two
yes,
of them.
two of
Then
them. You went to both.
the club had the
No, no, no.
swag giveaway.
I mean, you're leaving the details. You went to both. Each one of them were an hour
Okay,
apart.
so
Come on, you
hold
gotta
on.
go into the details.
Let me back it up then a little bit because I was gonna go to the first one, the Duncan one, but I needed a jersey to get signed for my son. So what I did is I was looking all over the place, couldn't find one. Looked on the Facebook group. I realized there was this guy, Theodore from the Team Outlet store.
Yep.
Went above and beyond, got me a jersey, personalized everything. I went to pick that up on Friday. Then I went to the stadium. He went to the stadium, actually. He got the personalization done. Went to the store, picked it up. Then I drove an hour to the first signing. Was first online to get the jersey signed by Duncan. I was like, all right, great, we're done. Then my son was like, well, wait, there's the other signing, which was, guess what? Only an hour away. So we get in the car and drive an hour from the west side of Orlando to the east side of Orlando. Or sorry, the other way, from the east side to the west side. Get
Mhm.
the
In
other set of
Oviedo,
signatures.
out of all places.
Yeah, get those set of signatures, go home, try to rest a little bit, wake up the next day. He had a game in Bradenton over by IMG. After that,
Hmm.
we went 2 hours to Tampa, 2 hours back to the stadium for um
The swag
the
pit.
swag giveaway. Thank you, and then home to recuperate for his game the next day at the Osceola Heritage Park. Yeah, so
For
it was
sure.
not counting Tuesday, Monday, and all that other stuff. I need a week off.
No, I
What I'm
hear you.
saying. I
Hey,
did the calculation. I did about 12 hours of driving that weekend.
that's
It was
insane.
nuts. It
For
was
a lot of
nuts.
football. For a lot of
Yes,
football.
but it was
Now,
all worth
now,
it.
now that you mentioned that, I'm gonna go get the swag that was given at the stadium.
Yes.
So John, I'm gonna leave you with this while John expands on this. I will run to get the paraphernalia there. But Messi won the Ballon d'Or.
Mm,
My official, my position and the official position of this podcast is he did not deserve it. First of all, as a Maccabi Haifa fan, I take offense at the fact that that man last year in the champions was missing in action. Plays my little team in Haifa. By the way, plenty of friends made a lot of money in that deal. So shout out to my buddy Guy and Eitan over there in Haifa. So they uh they uh they go he goes and scores five goals or something like that, so they count that. He wins the World Cup. Evidently he won it by himself because all the other players were not available for the Ballon d'Or. If that's we're gonna use that as a leverage to win this. And then he comes to MLS and wins a Leagues Cup that was gifted to them. Let's be honest with you. When we play them, that ref, uh,
oh,
the only thing he was missing
David,
get
let's not
his
go down that path
get
then.
his card
We're just-
signed. The yellow card that I gave you, let me get it signed. And so he's given the Ballon d'Or over people that in my opinion deserve it more than he did. So there's some comments there. So John, take over. I'll be back in a second.
Definitely. All right. So we'll go here with the comments if you want to read them off, Ahmed, and I'll
yeah, I
click
got
through
you.
'em.
Jim D. Hey, Jim. How are you? Happy Wednesday. Jim says, dang, Columbus looking pretty good tonight. I think I would rather play ATL. You know what, Jim? I was just looking at the bracket my son and I put together, and that's who we put that we're playing for the second round. I mean, for the next set. So I'm with you on that one.
All right. Next. There you go.
And then Washington Red Wolves said, we have an odd advantage playing Nashville first. They're giving us the highest level of competition available in the first round. If we win, this should springboard us through the rest of the playoffs. And I couldn't agree with you more. I really hope it does.
Yep, absolutely agree with that.
And then, hey, Thomas Dupree. Thomas said Molino coming on for Columbus, and looks like Columbus is still up 2-0 in the 86th minute now.
Yep. So adding on to what David said, since even though he's already back, I completely agree with him. You know, Messi had a okay World Cup in my opinion. I'll just leave it at that. And then for club, he had a good season. He didn't have a great season in 32 appearances, 16 goals, 16 assists. You know, for somebody that went to the Ballon d'Or, that's not the stats you hear. Versus the person, we all know who it is, that got second, Erling Haaland. In 35 appearances, he had 36 goals and 8 assists. You know, and when watching the two last season over the fall, winter, and spring, you know, Haaland, you go into the game against against Man City, and it was, we got to stop Haaland from scoring. How are we going to stop De Bruyne from getting the ball to Haaland, or whoever else on the team from getting the ball to Haaland? Whereas with PSG last year, it was how do we stop Mbappe? How do we stop Neymar? And then Messi was third on that list, and in my opinion, a far third on that list. So I mean, in my opinion, Messi won it through heritage. You know, to become he set the record officially with the most Ballon d'Ors with 8. They did a cute little ring thing with him, and you know, like everything that seems to surround Messi anymore, they turned it into a circus, turned it into a sideshow. Had what is his name? I am the streamer, I am Speed or whatever his name is, the bigger
Oh, that guy's an idiot.
just to make a sideshow of it even more. So, you know, Ahmed, what do you think? Do you think Messi deserved it? Didn't deserve it?
You know what? It's politics at its finest. That's all I'm gonna say, man. It's politics, because we could sit here and argue, and I feel like there's a lot of people who would probably be just as deserving, if not more deserving. But it's the kind of thing where it's about the people you rub elbows with. You know, I mean, my son was in the car with me, and he was sitting there announcing it, and guess who was announcing it? David Beckham. Gee, I wonder why.
Come on.
Why. You know, it's like, tell me that's all I can say.
That's why I like that meme where he says, Miami 15th before Messi got there, 14th. Yeah, it is. Come on. I mean, to me, it was offensive. Better, more deserving players, but you know,
be less obvious about it. Be less obvious about it.
And for MLS to jump on the bandwagon, they got to play 8 games. Okay, I'm sorry, 8 games, and you're like, oh, first time an MLS player wins the Ballon d'Or, first and last. Sorry to say that. So, anyways, all right, guys. So I have the stuff that was in the swag bag. By the way, the stuff that I'm showing you, I collected to send to our good friend Taylor Williams, famous for to be the head of Orlando City, UK, and our good friend Dan, Barrich, who's the English Lion. So you know, I do this because we're a family, and they have been extremely great to us over the years. And by the way, after the season's over, as promised, we're gonna have another episode with them. And we'd love to do it live, but in order to coordinate, unless we're willing to wake up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, you know, we can do it that way. But anyways, so there's a bottle opener. I don't know if my camera is all horrible. So there it is, Orlando City. So bottle opener, some stickers. This one says Lion Crossing, and then, by the way, this stuff I put on my toolbox at work. And hunting season, Orlando City. This lanyard here with the hunting season, MLS, all that good stuff. There you go. And the yard sign here. Let's see. Sorry. Is it backwards? What's the deal? Okay, so hunting season. There you go. Hunting season. there, the background that basically Ahmed has, and then Lion Crossing. So I thought it was pretty cool. One of the things that managed to do the mural, the collage. There you go. Ahmed has
Yes.
it. The collage that they had with the image of the Open Cup trophy was there, and it's made out of little pictures. I sent my pictures and or my picture with my sons, and it was on the wall. And I was like, man, I don't think I'll be able to find it. My youngest son was like, there it is, that. So I posted that on social media as well. It was a good night. Saw Kingston. They took you through the tunnel. You were able to take pictures there. You were able to take a picture that will set you will send to your phone with like, hey, vamos to Orlando, whatever. Some other people, like our good friend Ahmed, they get included in the official club postings. That will never happen to me. There's no way. Trust me
I
on
didn't
that.
even know about it till the next morning. The next morning, my wife sends me a thing on Facebook. She's like, "Did you see what I sent you?" I'm like, "No." And it was me and my son walking out of the tunnel.
Out of the tunnel, out of the tunnel. Trust me, enjoy it, brother, because
Yeah, it
that
was
will
fun.
never happen for yours truly. Believe me, there's powers to be that will never let that happen. So if I sound bitter, I am. So anyways, guys. So we already talked about Messi. We talked about the playoffs. Let's talk about playoff results. If I may, because the surprise of the week, if we're talking about what happened, and I will love to go over everything here. And of course, my phone starts uh, refreshing things that I don't want when all I'm asking is for. Okay, so as you guys know, New York beat Charlotte 5-2 for the wild card game in the East. Kansas City and San Jose went down to PKs with Kansas City winning 4-2 to advance to the wild card in the West. Philadelphia beat New England 3-1. LAFC 5-2 over Vancouver. Houston 2-1 over Salt Lake. Cincinnati 3-0 over New York. And the surprise of the night of the playoffs so far, Kansas City 4-1 over St. Louis at St. Louis. So a big crash for those guys. And of course, as you know, Orlando beating Nashville 1-0. Seattle beating Dallas 2-0. And as of right now, it's final. It's final. Columbus beating Atlanta 2-0. God, why do you love me so much? I mean, it's just what a night. What a night, guys. What a night. So with that said, and we have our friend Vixen that's going to join us here in a second. So far, the other games that we've had, which one surprised you? Anything? John, let's start with you.
I mean, I'm honestly not that surprised about St. Louis losing. Not at all. When we saw them here, there was nothing impressive early in the season. I feel they caught a couple teams off guard, with the way they with their style of play and the players they had. I know their forward, their striker went down with an injury. I believe he was from Germany. I can't recall his name right now, which kind of hurt them mid to late season. Only played a handful of minutes against us when they played here. So I'm not too surprised about that. Pretty much everything kind of went how you would expect it to go. Kind of, puts another reason why this whole 3-game series madness is exactly that madness, because you don't play series in soccer. If you do, it's a home and away, and you do it on aggregate.
Absolutely. You already answered our friend Washington Red Wolves question. I mean, if you don't mind reading it and then giving your answer, since John
Absolutely.
already.
Yeah. Washington Red Bulls asked, how do you feel about the 3-game playoff format thus far? Personally, I'd love to see a 3-game format for every round except the finals. I definitely do have to agree with John, and I think David says the same. I'm not a fan of it. I understand why the MLS is doing it, because it's more money in their pockets. And in a way, since they expanded the playoffs, right, to include more teams, you have teams who would not necessarily make it. So if yours is one of those, you get to see your team play more games, which is fun. However, for a playoff format, I'd like it to be quick. just get it over with. If we're not going to make it through, let's just
Yeah.
get it through and move on.
And you said it. You said the key word right there is quick. Like
Yeah.
the fact that we have 8 days between matches, Monday to a Tuesday, and then all of a sudden 6
Yeah.
days, 5 days for matches,
International break.
Tuesday through Sunday. Why not do it? I understand there's an international break, then make the playoffs start a week earlier, a week later. Or do the whole full MLS thing and just make them play through it, which I disagree with in season. But either way, like if you're gonna have a three game series, it has to be Saturday, Wednesday, Sunday, or something to that effect. Has to be over quick. Has to be not this prolonged thing that just makes you almost get tired of it. Because at this point, I want to see my team play another game, win, and be on to the next round. Or to Ahmed's point, if we get blown out like Atlanta did and get outshot 14-1, I want that next game to come quickly so they can just end my suffering.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
that's the biggest disappointment with it all. Not necessarily it being a 3-game series, the fact that it's taking so long for the matches to get done.
No, absolutely. We're gonna let our good friend Vixen Macassi here. Vixen, welcome back, my friend.
Hey,
You're on the
Vixen.
Capo stand.
Hey, Vixen. How are you, babe?
How you doing,
Thank
brother?
you, thank you. Hi, how you guys doing? I'm doing
Doing
fine.
great,
Are
brother.
you guys doing good? How was your weekend? Good.
Well, it was great. Capped with a victory, at least for me. I was speaking for the three of us since we saw each other on Monday. Vixen, did you manage to make the game last Monday?
Sure did. Sure did.
Look at that! What a warrior!
I sure did. I found it such a beautiful moment, like in the last 30 seconds of the game. Everybody in the whole stadium waving the towel that they got. And
I agree, my friend.
Like I was like, I just want to stand there and look like how beautiful that looked. Like I was watching the previous matches, the Houston Dynamo match against Real Salt Lake and FC Cincinnati versus New York Red Bulls, and I saw that they had it, like the towel, and I'm like,
Columbus had it as well tonight.
If Orlando, yes, and if Orlando doesn't have that, I'm like, I'm gonna be so upset. And thankfully, they gave those out, and we had the same experience as the other fans did in Houston and in downtown Cincinnati. And
Yeah, for sure, my friend, for sure. The question was asked about the 3-game format. I gotta be honest with you. I love the cruelty of the win or go home that we had before. I think it exemplifies what football should be. I know the players don't like it. Is another chance to get hurt. It shortens the season for us. If Orlando City were to make it all the way to MLS Cup final, that would mean that players basically will have 3 weeks off. Because back in January, you gotta come back. Because guess what, baby, we are in CONCACAF champions. And this year they're gonna start it before the season, so our guys can actually go without compromising their performance in the league. That said, I think personally that we're doing a disservice to the players by extending the season. Like that. We started in February of last year, and the season. You gotta remember that we started a little earlier because of CCC. So our guys have practically played almost 12 uninterrupted months. Unacceptable. And the guys that are doing international duty, I mean, come on. The fact that we have the international break is going to be counterproductive to us because we are going to send Facu, Cartagena, and Galés, who are our starters, to South America. And then we're gonna have to send it. We're gonna have to ship them back. And listen, you never heard this from me, but the word on the street is that the club is gonna send private jets to bring those guys back, so they don't have to fly commercial.
Yeah, they have to go to Panama and another flight, and in Atlanta or something? Or
Oh no, no. If they fly directly, on a private jet, you are just basically going straight through and through. So that's what I heard from the from the world on the street. Because people always, oh, you don't know anybody. Well, that anybody told me that's what's going to happen. So great for our
yeah,
club. I mean, trust me, they're not doing it out of the kindness of their heart, caring about the players.
yeah,
They're basically doing so because of in the vested interest of not affecting our chances. But Vixen, comments, impressions.
yes.
Obviously, you told us about that. What are you expecting this coming up Tuesday as we head out to Nashville? How do you expect us to respond to this great victory? Do we cut them out of their misery, or do you think that we come
Well,
back to Orlando?
I hope we do win in downtown Nashville. But the performance that we did, I would have loved more goals. To be honest, because before I talk about that, you know how you're talking about the whole traveling thing and a lot of
Yeah.
games. The goalkeeper of Philadelphia Union, Andre Blake, made a very clear statement about that, and Andre Blake was not happy about a lot of games that they have to play, and like he has to go to Jamaica for international duty all the time.
Mm,
So he made it loud and clear in a tweet out there. Sorry, I just wanted to add
no,
that
no,
on too.
no, that's fantastic. I mean, it's a good point. I know that the Players Association made a statement stating that they were not a big fan, and the league's response was, "Oh well, we got to create content for our partner Apple Plus." But I want to get the opinions of everybody here. We're all diehard fans of the sport, uh, and the fact is we have a culture, and I think that our partners, meaning the broadcasting group with Apple Plus, and also with some of the front office personnel in the different clubs that are coming from traditional American sports, they don't understand that the sport has a finality. It's like, we don't have promotion relegation here, so we have to create that urgency for people to go, hey, guess what? My team needs to finish top four, otherwise they don't host, or we gotta finish top seven if we want to see playoffs. This idea of the wild card game, while cute, I don't think is going to. Kansas City so far has proven to be the outlier, but those teams really just came and just got knocked in the teeth, and like to me, it wasn't great football. I'm sorry to say that it wasn't great football. It just and by the way, we don't have to do the same thing as the rest of the world. We're Americans. We should be proud of our individuality, our Americanisms, and the way we're putting our stamp and flavor on the league. I'm not trying to be English, and when I follow my teams, Stevenage and Maccabi Haifa, take your shot. For those playing bingo, go ahead and mark your cards. When I follow those teams, I'm not pretending to be Israeli. I'm not pretending to be English. I'm not pretending like I live in those communities, like I know what's going on, that I know the history, that I've been a fan for years. I don't pretend to be that. I'm just there for the love of the game, for the love of the football, for the love of following the club, and it should be the same with us. Our friends from Orlando City, UK, have never displayed any arrogance or like, oh my God, you call this soccer? God forbid. They just come, they love it, and they enjoy it. I have a lot of friends that are members of that group. They have introduced me to the teams that I follow. So at the end of the day, I think we should, in my opinion, the one and done should be the standard. I think it's too much football, too many chances of people getting hurt and all that. So Ahmed, let's start with you. Go down to John, and then end with Fixin. If you want to add anything to something where basically it's a cash grab, my friends. There's nothing to it.
What was that? You broke up. I didn't hear what you said, David.
No, no. I just wanted to know if you would like to add anything to what I just said about the fact that, I mean, it's just a cash grab. This situation where we're playing so many games,
Oh yeah,
rather than just
absolutely,
have the one.
absolutely. I mean, that's really it's not any value to the tournament if you really think about it, right? Our whole season, that's what it was, right? That's what's leading up to it. Like that's that part. They're just trying to recreate it, and having the extra games is just that. For the fans that are the casual fans, and this is not to sound the wrong way, they get to see their
Hmm.
team possibly play multiple games, whereas they may or may not get that. normally. Like if you think
Absolutely.
that, you know, that's all. I agree.
Go ahead, John.
Yeah, David talked about the culture of soccer and everything, and I mean, just having a postseason, a playoff to have your ultimate champion is very American. So to try a best of three, it doesn't make sense. Something that, in my opinion, would make sense if they're going to add a best of three is to do it for the final, maybe. That way both, the higher seeded team and the lower seeded team gets to play, gets a home match instead of just one team getting a home match. I think that would be pretty cool to see the atmosphere at both stadiums, especially if it was like us versus an LA team or somebody on a complete opposite coast, or us versus somebody that has a little bit different culture than what we have going on down here in Orlando. That's my opinion on it. If they want to do a best of three, do it for the final. You get more eyes, you get a little bit more anticipation, and everybody knows that when it comes to the other sports that have the series, it's, there's nothing like that game 7, or for in this instance, it'd be game 3, the final game. Just the intensity and the passion of those final games when it's a series you can't beat, and having it in the first round is kind of, can cause for a dull ending, because at this point, except for St. Louis, all the higher seeds won, and most of them won handedly.
Vixen.
Yeah, no, that's I wonder what the players coming from Europe and South America to MLS think about that.
Yeah, for sure.
Like we got Cucho Hernandez from Columbus. We got Facundo Torres here. We have new players in LA Galaxy. Like what do they think about that? And
No, I mean they have said it. They just think it's ridiculous. We have a
but
comment here from. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Did I cut you off?
no.
Okay. Good deal. Thank you, my brother. We
I'll
have
go
a
ahead
comment
and
here.
read it.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Jim D, I think the best of 3 was for Messi money. The final could be best of 3. But first round, geez, Jim, you just, I copied you. My bad. Yeah, obviously, I agree with you.
No, for sure. Yeah, they were hoping that the Ballon d'Or for 2023 was gonna be there. It isn't. I have to tell you, this is in now that we're rounding it up. I have to say we have to reward the teams that have great seasons. If we do a best out of 3 for the MLS Cup, for example, then if you start with the team that is highest seed at home, that team is gonna get crowned in somebody else's house. If you start with the lowest seed playing first, you're rewarding a team that didn't have as much of a good season as the other one. And what's the purpose of playing the first game if one team wins both of them? It's sort of like you gave the weaker team, if you will, hope that they were gonna win something, but they didn't. It's just like when you ask a girl out, and rather than being honest and saying, "Bro, not into you," and cut you loose, oh, I'll think about it. Don't give hopes. Don't give hopes. If you know it's gonna be no, do it at the moment. Don't give people hopes. That's how I feel about it. Again, I'm on record. I believe that it should be one and done. Season should be over. We need to reward our guys with rest. Because like I said, we're giving our guys, if we go all the way, we're giving our guys a month to recover after basically practically playing a whole year. And God forbid we have injuries. By the way, shout out to our player health and the trainers, all the physical therapists. Beautiful job. They post a team picture on LinkedIn. By the way, if you're on LinkedIn, which I use for professionally to look for work and stay in contact with colleagues, following the people from the club priceless. I'm telling you, our club posts a lot of stuff on LinkedIn that is nowhere. And if you are like me, that you like to learn the ins and outs of the football business, you have to be there. So, shout out to our club on LinkedIn and our staff. Also, a shout out to the supporter groups. Beautiful tifo this past Monday.
Yes.
The energy was there, just like the guys have said. The towels, everything was fantastic. It was a great night for football. In fact, that football has arrived when on Tuesday morning my coworkers were asking me about how the game went. They wanted to know, and a lot of people are getting excited. They're like, "Oh, next year I'm gonna go check it out." In fact, one of the guys that I work with was asking our maintenance manager if maybe next year we can have a team building event by going to a game. That's yours truly, letting them know about that's how it starts. Again, I am an Orlando City fan because my wife, as an employee of Orlando Health, was given free tickets back in 2011. That's what it takes, my friends. As once you walk through the doors of Exploria, anything can happen. I hear the stories of people that just went to one game, and that was it. Just like the song says, I fell in love with you. Smoke fill up my lungs, and I knew. I mean, come on, it's how it is. It's how it is, guys. Don't worry, I'm not gonna break into song. My wife's already asleep, so I don't wanna. I mean, I broke the bear. I'm gonna get it. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and wrap it up. I think we have spoke enough about this. Obviously, the boys are back at it in Nashville. We wish them the best. It's gonna be 9 p.m. kickoff and on FS1 and Apple Plus. Again, if you want to be part of the watch party, it's going to be Tuesday, November 7th at Wall Street in downtown Orlando. Ahmed, let's start with you.
What do I expect?
No, parting words. We're about to wrap it up. If
You know
you
what?
got,
I mean, Vixen will know. I've said it before. Every game is a playoff game. We're in the playoffs. This is it. It's do or die. Round of 3. I say no round of 3. Every game we play is the last game. We need to play this game like it's our first game. Come out swinging. I don't want to see a game 3 because I don't want to get to that point. And when I say I don't want to see a game 3, I want to see a game 1 regular time, no PKs, no nothing. And this way we have that extra time to break and we move on from there. I feel like if we move on from there, the rest is easy for us. Because I feel
Amen.
like for me, this was the part that worried me the most, especially like to John's point, the way we played them the last time, Nashville, when we at the end of the season, I wasn't totally thrilled, right? I was worried at the end of the season after that last game with them how we would do. So I hope we don't have a false sense of confidence going into this because we're going to be away. We need to come out 110%.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
That's all I got.
Mm-hmm.
Done.
John.
The one thing, I've been harsh on Poppy pretty much all year since the first match, even before the first match when they had the open exhibition. The one thing that he's able to do, kind of in response to what Ahmed said, was he's been able to keep the guys locked in mentally and not let them get ahead of themselves, not let them think that they're just going to waltz into a match and win. Come back when they're down, stuff like that. So, I believe that Poppy will do that this time. They won't get ahead of themselves. There won't be the, we lose this game, it's not a big deal because we play them at home, or, whatever the negative mentality may be. I believe that he will stop that. And, I'm just looking for us to take the souls of all the Nashville fans that have done nothing the last 2 weeks but talk on social media, and then their words, they'll be eating their words, and there's nothing like that when especially on social media.
No, for sure. Vixen.
Yes, 3 things. The Sporting Kansas City made a stand in downtown St. Louis. That's what we have to do in downtown Nashville. 150%, if not worse. Give them hell. Make sure that they don't ever want to play us again. Instill fear to them, to the Nashville team for next season, and we gotta go all out against Nashville. I don't want a game three. I just want. I mean, this should have been just one game, but I guess we gotta beat their butts in two.
Well,
So
for sure, for sure. You know,
um,
we got. We're not teaching them a lesson. We're just teaching ours. We're telling ourselves we learned a lesson. They took us out a few years back. It's our time to take them out.
indeed. And I follow plenty of MLS influencers on Instagram, and
Hmm.
they have the playoff bracket actually, and a few of them actually have Orlando City winning the MLS Cup. So
Wow.
we are not being unrecognized, So I think that's great that we're that we're not hidden. Like people understand that we're trying to make a loud presence every time we go step on that field.
All right.
And
Fantastic.
when is the next quick question? Is the next week's podcast? Is it on Wednesday games? Since the game
It's
was
gonna
on
be on Wednesday. We're gonna do it on Wednesday. Thank you, Victor, for reminding me because I was not gonna. I was gonna forget. It's gonna be Wednesday. That way, we watch the game and we actually have the opportunity to talk about it rather than talk about it on Monday and all that good stuff. Thank you, Victor, for joining us. One last comment here. I'm gonna read it myself for the sake of saving time, and this is from our friend.
Serge.
Sergeant, I'm sorry, it's because it disappears when I click on it on my end. It says cheap flights to Nashville. I'll be there to see the Lions win. Vamos Orlando. Thank you, my friend. Again, we said we said it before, but I want to reiterate that. Thank you to all the people, all the fans that go on the road to support our boys. We're one of the few teams in MLS that at least has one fan in the stands giving them hell. So thank you, my friend, for joining the crowd over there. I want to before we go and I realize we're running out of time. Um, give a shout out to our friends at Soccer underscore is underscore football. Soccer is football. They're a bilingual podcast talking about MLS and football in general. They are two Argentinians who are Orlando City fans and live here in Orlando. And we shared some of their postings on Monday at Exploria, and I just want to give them a shout out. We're not full here of like yo we know everything. If you're doing content out there, we're gonna give you a shout out. Except the people that talk trash about me on the microphone. That you know who they are. You know who you are. Remember, I quit you. You didn't kick me out. Remember that. Just remember that. And also, I want to shout out to my dentist, Dr. Martinez at OC County Smiles off of Curry Ford, who was a season ticket holder. And we were talking about Orlando City. Well, she was talking about Orlando City. I couldn't because she was working on my mouth. But on Monday, she took care of my mouth, my award-winning smile, and kicked me out of her office promptly to make it to the game. She made it to kickoff, so I just I told her that I was gonna give her a shout out since she was checking us out for the first time. Thank you very much, Doctor. As always, you're so awesome with me and my family, and you follow Orlando City. So you're looking for a dentist. Go. This is not a paid endorsement. She's an Orlando City fan, season ticket holder. Go support those that support our club. With that said, I just want to remind everybody, like Vixen said, next Wednesday, not Monday, next Wednesday, 9 p.m., we'll be back to talk about a win and moving on to the next phase. I want to thank Edward and I want to thank Vixen for joining us today. Obviously, Ahmed and John for being awesome and joining me tonight. I want to thank everybody that is live. Reminding everybody that we're going to be live on Twitch at On the Capo Stand, on X at On the Capo Stand, on YouTube at Davis Channel 76, on Instagram at On the Capo Stand, on Facebook at On the Capo Stand, on TikTok at On the Capo Stand, on Threads at On the Capo Stand, and that's it. So hopefully you'll be able to join us. Thank you very much. From Edward, Ahmed, John, Vixen, and myself. Reminding everybody that football is the sport for those that don't mind having their mouth smashed and their hearts broken. Football is played on grass, not on paper. Football is cruel and unpredictable. Football is a pound of talent, an ounce of luck, And if football has not made you cry for joy or anger, have you ever football? Ask yourself that, my friends. Thank you very much. May God bless you. And as always, vamos, Orlando.